Hello there. This is me, the Shadow Self, or actually, yeah, the Shadow Self only. There's nothing in the name, right? Showing up here on the internet in order to build a mind muscle connection through putting ourselves onto spontaneous speaking practices where we are picking up any random situation and talking upon that, coming up with random ideas, articulating it right away, and delivering it right on the spot, so that the mental muscles, whatever muscle lies inside, will get in alignment with the vocal expression of thoughts. Yeah, let's pick up something today as well in order to continue what we have started. So what have we started actually? What have we started? By the way, the previous day we ended up being too emotionally driven away, maybe, or not emotionally driven away, but that reality thing that we were talking about the previous time, it got like, what I have learned is that thinking the thoughts is something that should be, that should have, like, that should let flow in order to be creative. Because when we let our thoughts flow and express them, then even we can sometimes get to know a version of horizons that we might not have been able to access. So that reality thing, it was an outcome of some state of mind only, and that was also not real, considering whatever argument and claims were made previously. This was also not, that was also not real, because of course, how can something be real? That is all chemical states. And I have recently found myself getting associated with the field of psychology, and I ended up acting like a some whatever, and where I got sort of carried away because of whatever um, way that mind is being explained by the literature or the text in the field of psychology. It sort of blew my existing thought process about reality. So that got me carried away that day. So that was also not real. And what I learned based upon that one expression was that we can just put ourselves onto certain thought process. We should do that more often actually, and that is how we can come up with so many novel perspectives that can help us have that cognitive ability that can formulate new information based upon what we have learned. So although there were only few chapters of the book of psychology that I have read, and that is something that blew up my mind and that have put me into that state that I ended up rambling about that way. So I wonder that we whatever we learn, whatever we read, we should let our brain come up with the possible interpretation of that. And as a result of that, if we would let our brain come up with extractions like that, then it is sort of a good mental practice that we should, or we can at least. I am experimenting a lot with myself lately, so that was it. It was nothing. And there is one more thing that I've been trying to, like, play with myself, is that I've been trying to understand this that fear of judgment thing that exists in almost all of us human beings, of course, not animals. They are free. The human beings are sort of captivated and caged inside our own mental constructs, specifically when it comes to feeling that we are being judged by whatever we are thinking, feeling, and acting. So those feeling of judgment is something that I wanted to get over with, being a part of a psychosocial system that we, how many few billions of psychosocial system in the human species that exist. And yes, letting ourselves drawn into into our own mental representations of the existing information that we have sought, without feeling that yeah, it might end up leading to something that we are not supposed to sound like, is also one of the practice that can let us, to come up, or at least to train our brain to be comfortable to just, extract as many and as weird representations as it can. Because there's a specific kind of personality trait that is called self consciousness, that has been found to be correlated with the people who are, less creative and who are high on this self consciousness thing. And the less someone would be conscious of their actions and their thoughts and belief, the more likely they have been found to be creative. So we end up being not creative and not, get ourselves out of the box, because we are so consumed by our own conscious awareness that we are thinking certain way, and this according to the so and so social parameters is not something that one should be thinking, because we have, categorized certain kind of thoughts into certain kind of categories. Like this kind of thoughts, if somebody is having, then they are like, either they are too geeks, either they are too nerd, either they are dumb. We have categorized people also like insane, crazy, whatever way you categorize ourselves onto. So first, if you want to get ourselves onto creative horizons, then I think that we should let ourselves free from the influence of being too conscious of our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. Only then, once we will find ourselves, or we will be able to get ourselves liberated from those, our own self oriented and self driven thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Only then, after that liberated state, one can truly find something that requires to surpass what we already know. Yeah, means being creative, creating something that already exists. So, in order to surpass that already existing information that we have, we need to get ourselves over of any belief that if we would not, should be like, if we would not conform to these existing patterns, then we would not get fit in. And only at that moment, if we will be able to get us ourselves out of that, we can actually and truly end up creating something that we should and we are supposed to, because we are the creative beings, we are the creators. Humans are the creators. There's no point of being a human being if you don't create something. And it is equally not that easy for us to be creative until we explicitly train our brain to be one. And like I have mentioned, that being creative requires us to first get ourselves awareness upon our conscious thoughts and emotions and actions that we think does not conform to the social or whatever a reference group we associate ourselves from. So that thing what we did the previous day was an outcome of that only, or maybe not an outcome but a precursor of having that creative state of mind that have sort of landed ourselves into that zone where we started questioning everything based upon whatever few words that we have been able to understand in the book of psychology. Yeah, but it was good finding myself being that way, that even though reading just few lines or few chapters of that book, I've been able to, or my brain have been able to come up with something which could question the existing belief patterns that we were having, in the reality, like real practical grounds that we are experiencing. And that is, I think, what we need to train ourselves to, that whatever we learn, we could at least use or have the capability to utilize that piece of information to question the existing things that we see in our day-to-day practices. So that is what it was. And yeah, So hopefully we would be able to sustain that kind of practices, where we would be able to have the capacity to question the existing things that we are practicing here in the real world, the so-called perceived real world. Yeah, 11 minutes. This is the. It doesn't matter anymore, I guess. Yeah. So every practice leads to something. It does leads to something. Anyway, goodbye. We'll catch up. It is a goodbye. It is a goodbye. Yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow.